Today was a breakthrough, everybody. Today was basically been a year of my math training. If you are injured or sick and tired of being injured, if you have weight that you need to lose, if you're burned out, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, or if you just want to find the fountain of youth, then stay with me and let's dive in to my journey.
It's right before your eyes. Step by step, on your way, you walk to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? That you could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out your hopes and dreams. You can fly in the sky.
I just want to take the opportunity to thank everybody who has liked, subscribed, commented. It really helps the channel. I really appreciate it. And if you're new and you're seeing this for the first time, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. It'll tell you when all the videos are posted online once I get them up. This last year has been epic in many ways, and it's been frustrating in many ways. It's actually been frustrating all the way around in terms of how the body operates. And today, I'm going to do a review on the past year of my training so you can have an idea whether or not you want to start. The reason I started training by heart rate is because I wasn't having much success at running fast all the time. And I had been injured, I had been burned out, and then I just kind of, ran just for the sake of running. Didn't really have any goals, wasn't really motivated. And as the years kind of went by, I was like, you know what? I really do have to get back into this sport because I really do love it. And I decided that I was going to take a year to see what would happen if I started training by heart rate. It's been 1 year, baby, and I got lots to tell you. In the last year, this is more of a summary of how I did for 365 days. All right, so let's take a look. I could stand here and tell you my whole entire story, but that would be really boring, right? Me standing here, bobblehead, just kind of going back and forth. Let's take it outside. That is way better than being stuck inside. The weather's turned, it's really nice. And today, I want to talk to you about my year of Maffetone Method training. Now, for all of you who don't know what that is, it is AKA heart rate training, meaning train at your aerobic heart rate. And that can be figured out by 180 minus your age, and that's how many beats per minute that you would run. Now, there are some calculations whether you add 5 beats or decrease 10 beats, depending on circumstances. You can click on the link below. It'll take you to Phil's website and it will explain everything to you in an example. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about what happened over the last year. Now, again, if you are new to the channel, if you are new just seeing this for the first time, please click above right here. That will be my journey kind of starting off on the Maffetone Method training, okay? And that was like 4 months in, all right? Now, we are, I'm basically talking to you after a year of this type of training. And I will give you a summary a little later on in the video, but there was a few things I wanted to talk about, and that is as follows. So my story into this, I'm not going to go into it. You can actually click the card up above, or you can click the video in the description down below, and that will give you the first 4 months into this process. And this video now is going to be kind of starting from that 4 month period to where I am today. Now, I'm going to share with you little video clips that have happened along the way, and well, let's just roll with those first. I don't want to run. I really don't want to run. Mommy, I don't want to run. I don't want to run. It's cold. It's 7 degrees and raining. And, I've been procrastinating since I got up.
9 o'clock this morning.
And I don't want to run.
I danced, you run.
I don't want to run. I don't want to run. Ah! How hard is it for you to get out and go for a run? You just saw what it was like for me. Seriously, I just didn't want to run today.
Broom's length away from me because he stinks.
I don't stink. I literally just got back. May 8th in Canada. Really? If you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes. Crazy. Question of the day. What has been your biggest challenge with MAF training? Since I started running MAF, I've been noticing some changes obviously in my body, how much weight I'm losing, how I feel, how I react to the workouts. But this is something that could get expensive. So make sure you buy your hydration vest that fits fairly well. So this is mine. This is so loose on me now. It's crazy. Yeah. So it bounces around a lot. 100 miles in 1 week is a real commitment. So to all of the elite athletes and amateur athletes and everybody else, man, dedication to 100 miles in a week is something else. I mean, the other day I started off with 30, and then yesterday, I did a trail at 20. And just with the weather getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and you gotta wake up earlier and earlier and earlier, man, you gotta beat the heat. That's one crazy storm coming through. Man, oh man. Anyways, happy trails, everybody. Happy trails. 25 kilometers for the day. 167 something. 167.2 kilometers. Over 100 miles. Hell yeah. I'll take it. Flippin' awesome. There comes a time in your MAF training when you hit a breakthrough and you go, hallelujah. This is awesome. Guys, I'm so happy. I'm going to talk to you about what happened. Breakthrough today in training. OMG. Not all runs can be good. Really, they can't be that good. Today's run sucked. And you know what? That's okay. I've been training for 8 months. Slow and steady. Frustration with walking. Frustration with slowness. When I started, I wanted to throw in the towel so many times. However, I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't. Because I have had a breakthrough in my running. There's too many people out there that want instant gratification, instant results. Here's the thing, you're not going to get them. You're not going to get that instant result. This is like 2,500 miles. This is like 3,000 kilometers of hard work. 3,000 kilometers of ups and downs. 3,000 kilometers of, is this ever gonna work? If I gave up all the times I thought that it was too hard, I would have never gotten to where I am. So my message to all of you guys is the following. The journey and the patience is the breakthrough. Doing what you love and making it all count matters. Being where you are in your ability is where you are, and that's okay. You put in the consistent mileage, nice and slow, you will get there and you will have those results. If it means you gotta walk, guys, you gotta walk. There's no two ways about it. You have to train that muscle, because if you don't, you're gonna burn out, you're gonna get injured. How much fun is that? So, happy Saturday, everybody. Let's rise and shine. It's time to do the work. I'm in a cool place called Bayfield. And this is a number of hours later. Second town, this is gonna be my second run. If you are finding that you are not progressing, just take a look what the flippin' temperature is. The temperature right now for me is about 38 Celsius right now. And I'm walking, my heart rate is fluctuating between 128 and 133. So don't be hard on yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't be hard on yourself, because training in the heat, it's crazy. Your body is under so much stress, right? So today is all about going up. So there is going to be no thinking about pace, no thinking about I should be faster. It's none of that. This is literally just going straight up. And that's what I'm going up. And that's nothing. It gets higher. Now, it's no mountain. Like, for all you that are following me from California or Colorado or any places where you've got the mountains, this is the best I got. The next piece of advice I have for you is don't be attached to the outcome. If you're always thinking that you're gonna get better on every single run, it's a myth. It ain't happening. Some days they're gonna be amazing runs. Other days, not so much. So leave the attachment out of the equation, because it'll make your run so much more enjoyable. And when you finish, you won't be disappointed, because at least you got out and you enjoyed yourself. So hot. So hot. So hot. Oh my God. No excuses. Get out and get your run in. Trail running is always a challenge. I just wiped out. Oh, yeah. Anyways, I don't even know how it looks. That's a wrap. I need water in a bad way. No excuses, everybody. No excuses. Get out there and run. It is hot. That's just gross. Something to think about. Not all of your training has to be there. However, if you want to get to that, reach your maximal goal, potential, if you want to have better results, if you want to have quicker results, then you would want to train at your max. Now, it's still going to take time, but you may get there faster than if you were training at, let's say, if I was training at 128 or 130. Just shuffle along, shuffle along, shuffle along. Keep it simple. All right, we don't need to recreate running in any fashion. Just take a lot of steps, short, like your pace is slow. And that's how I shuffled for a while. But over time, obviously, I got faster and my form changed for the better. So I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm gonna yell nice and loud. This is how I would shuffle my way to getting faster, okay? Show you. Baby steps, 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 baby steps. It's been a long time coming. I'm just saying, building my aerobic base for as long as I have has been the single most important thing that I could have done for my running. Not only has it made me a stronger runner who can run longer distances, who has stayed injury-free, I would say that it's made me more consistent in my running. And I'm so grateful and so happy that I've come across Maff. It's been great. Now I'm actually gonna go to step 2. And this is what I've talked about, doing an 80-20. And so for all of you who are trying to decide, if it's time for you to do an 80-20, basically you'll know when the time is right. And a friend of mine, he kind of brought it to my attention just recently. He's like, why don't you do a month of, higher intensity on the track, just to see after that, then go back to just running Maff on every run and see what's happened during your Maff, your test, right? Like when you go out. So I thought I would do that. Now, 80-20 is just what it sounds like, right? So 80% I'm going to be running at, my heart, my Maff heart rate. And then 20% I'm going to be doing these higher intensities. One of them is a tempo, and one of them is doing track work. And that's going to be 800-meter repeats that I'm going to do. Now, it's been a long time since I've done those, and I'll slowly work my way up to that. I will. Now, the reasons for doing the speed work is to kind of stress my heart a little bit more than obviously I have, right? I built up the, my base now. Now let's try to work on, going from the slow twitch fibers in your muscles to going to the fast twitch fibers, right? We're going to be running anaerobic, and we're going to be pushing, right, the red line. And it's okay to do that. However, you got to be smart, and you have to warm up on these things. And you don't take it lightly, right? I always told you I would be honest. And I always told you that I'd be transparent. My pace was 7:07 today. My average heart rate was 140. I feel pretty damn good though. I'll tell you that. The fact that I was able to get 7 in today, I'm pretty happy. Okay, first 800, 313. Not bad. 311, Dedication to your training is super important if you want to see the results. Maffetone Method works. 80-20 works. But you have to run. You actually have to do the things that you say that you're going to go ahead and do. So if you've got your training plan and you've written it down, 90% of the time it's going to happen. Now there are times where it's a little hard to get your run in, and that's some of the struggles I find. You know, if I don't wake up early enough in the morning, or if I've got things that have to happen first thing in the morning, I know that I have to be prepared. So for me, I just make sure I've got clothes in the car and I'm ready to go. I just got to brag. I'm like super excited. I just nailed it on the track. And I'm going to talk to you about how my math test went. So let's get right into it. Okay, as you can see, a lot has happened over the year, and let's dive into some of the things that, you know, I have learned along the way, and I'm just going to start naming them off. All right. Number one, coffee will affect your heart rate, so ditch the caffeine. Processed food will raise the heart rate, so ditch the junk, things that come in a box. You don't need it. Just eat real food. Okay. Whether you're vegan or whether you're a meat eater, it really doesn't matter. You can do this. Burning your own fat as an energy source is flippin' awesome. I have done so many runs where I'm able to just go out and run without anything, right? Just some electrolytes, and that's it. And I go out and run for 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever, right? It's really nice not to worry about, you know, how you're gonna get, you know, your nutrition, because you're running so slow, you're in that aerobic zone, you're just burning your fat. You have to make sure you get enough sleep, guys. I cannot overstate that. It is super important. I strive to get 8 hours sleep every night, and then some nights I even try to get 9. It doesn't happen all the time. Yeah, I sometimes only get 4 or 5, really, but I always strive to get 8. Now, again, sleep will impact your heart rate, so pay attention to that. That's something I learned, right? Just as you go. Patience. You actually have to have patience. This is the long game. You're not going to hack your way to getting faster. How you will get there is having patience, and over time, okay, over the long haul, you will get faster. All right. Now, the next thing is consistency. You actually have to have consistency in your running. Okay, so if you're only going out, you know, 3 days a week, it may be hard for you to actually see the results. Now, you may see the results really slower, you may be more frustrated. Okay, the weather will have a major impact on your heart rate. So if you're running in hot climates, be prepared for you not to see results as fast as others may have, okay? Because the hotter it is, the more humid it is, the higher your heart rate will be. Okay, again, this is more of a recap on a lot of the videos that I've done before, right? But these are things I've learned over the last year. You can run longer distances in this method without getting injured, okay? Now, obviously, if you roll your ankle, yeah, you're gonna get injured. However, you know, me going out for a run, I'm not running fast, I'm running slow, right? It's more of a shuffle, as you saw in the video clips before, right? Little shuffle, baby steps, baby steps. That's how I started. That's how I got through this. Now I'm able to, you know, be able to take longer strides. I find running at the same time of day really helps, because it is the same time that you run every morning, so it means you know, whether you've eaten or you haven't eaten, it keeps all the variables the same. So going out and doing that at, you know, whether it's 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 or 9 or whatever, as long as you keep that consistent, your heart rate will ebb and flow. Now, if you run in the afternoon after having a stressful day at work or family life or whatever, you will see a higher heart rate. Compare yourself to other people. It doesn't work. This is an experiment of one, right? This is just you versus you. This is you getting fitter, okay? So don't try to compare yourself with other people. Running below your maximum MAF heart rate is okay. You've got 10 beats, right? You've got that 10 beat zone. So if your heart rate is 138, then you can go all the way down to 128. You're in your aerobic zone, right? And it works out really well. However, if you want to see faster results, running at your max, I found, tends to help me improve more and more and more. My recipe for success, I found, was being able to run 6 days a week, and I would say anywhere from about 8 to 12 hours was really good for me. If I started to get lower, like into the 6-hour range, I found my results were a little bit slower. So anyways, if you can have a couple of longer runs, like a 2-hour run or an hour and a half run in your week mixed in with a couple of 1-hour runs, that can help. Okay, so again, being able to run longer, like that 2 hours, if you can get at least one of those in a week, man, it's a golden number, right? It just expands the lung capacity. It's just, again, I did a video on the 2-hour principle of running, so you can kind of click the card up above and you can see that, or click in the description down below and you can click on the video there. I found that if I had to walk, and that was just normal. I mean, it was just took time. However, when the temperatures got hot and I had to walk, I felt frustrated, right? It's a natural feeling, but again, whether you're walking and your heart rate is in that zone, or whether you're running and your heart rate is in that zone, you're still working in your aerobic zone. You're still going to improve, okay? So in time, you will get faster. So let's talk about what I experienced with regards to my time. When I first started, I averaged on my first math test, it was like an 8:35 minute kilometer. Like that's kind of where I was at, right? That was insane. I mean, it took me like an hour and 25 minutes. It was awful and that was to do 10K. I mean, it was crazy. I was so frustrated. However, over the time, you can see in the chart, I slowly got faster and faster and faster and faster, okay? And if you want to see how to do a math test, again, there's a card up above. You can see one of my math tests that I have done. But basically, find a track, you do a 15-minute warm-up, you find a track, and you run around the track, keeping your heart rate at your max, right? And you do that for 3 miles, or I tend to do 10 kilometers, which 6 kilometers, sorry. I tend to do 10 kilometers, which works out to being 6 miles basically. Or if you want to update, or if you want to up that to 10 miles, yeah, you could certainly do that as well. Okay, but again, what you should see is your time should decrease over the kilometers and miles, right? It should be a steady decrease. The first one should be the fastest, and then from there it just drops. And that is a normal process. It means that you've warmed up enough, okay? If you haven't warmed up enough, you'll find the first couple of kilometers or miles, they're gonna fluctuate, right? Because your heart hasn't kind of found that rhythm yet. So again, that's something that I've realized. So make sure that you get your 15-minute walk or very, very, very light jog. And if this is hard for you, and if your run is a jog when you're actually running math, then do like a speed walk as a warm-up, okay? But 15 minutes. The weather will affect, okay, so the wind, right? The wind, the rain, the heat, the cool, the snow, the slush, all that will affect your heart rate. So again, if you can find an inside place to do your math tests, it would be helpful. However, for me, I couldn't do it because of where I live. So I do all my runs outside, and that's, I did get faster and faster over time, even though the weather was a little bit different. So it'd be interesting to see what it would have been like if I had all of those variables exactly the same. The big thing for me was I had to leave the ego at the door, and it took me a while, right? It didn't happen overnight. Even halfway through, I was still like, thinking about pace. So for me, leave all of those emotions at the door. The only thing that you should be looking at on your watch is heart rate and elapsed time on your feet, right? That's all that matters. And if you run for an hour every second day, and then you throw in an hour and a half or a 2-hour run in there, you will see results. Yes, you can trail run. If you are doing math, you can trail run. However, walking up the hills, just pay attention because your heart rate will shoot up. You can run the downs and the flats, but make sure you hike the hills because you don't want it to spike, okay? I also added in some speed work. So after the initial 4 months, I then slowed down in March because of COVID. And then I kind of came back in April and I decided I was going to start adding some tempo runs in. So it was more of a 90-10 type of training, right? 90% math, right? 10% speed. And then as the months went by, I also added some speed work on the track. So I would do, I think in 1 month, so for 4 days in August, I did 800 meter repeats around the track. And yes, I got faster, and yes, I was able to train the anaerobic system, right? But here's the thing, the aerobic system takes much longer to build than the anaerobic system, right? Now, when you build your aerobic engine, right, you're also helping your anaerobic system at the same time. You will have breakthroughs, you will have failures, you will have frustration. These are emotions that I had the whole entire time I was doing this, but I knew that I was going to succeed because I wasn't going to give up, right? I have no races to run, right? So when I started this, I was like 215 pounds. So or even higher, I think may even be 215, I think I said it was. Yeah, 215. Anyways, I went all the way down to 181, 182. And that was all just because of this slow running in your aerobic zone. You burn your own fat. So yes, it is weight loss, right? It is weight loss and it's sustainable, right? It's sustainable weight loss. You can do this, right? Just like I did. And the thing is you don't come back. See, I don't come back home starving, right? I come back from my run, I have a shower, and I'm good to go for the day, right? I'm not hungry because you're not burning sugar, right? I'm not burning all those carbs. What I'm burning is I'm burning my fat, right? As an energy source. Dude, I've probably got like 3 months, 4 months I could run every single day without eating, right? And I'd still be good, right? We have enough on us to last. Anyways, fasting, all my runs are fasted, right? All of them, and they work out really well. I'm really happy with it. So anyways, that's just something to consider. I'm also very happy. After a run, I feel awesome. I really feel epic. And honestly, I'm clear-minded, right? Because in Canada, we don't have a lot of sun in the wintertime. We got clouds, snow, all that kind of stuff. So a lot of our vitamin D is much lower that we're getting through our skin because we're all covered up, right? So we try to get as much as we can during the summer months. So for me, running just makes me happier. It makes me fitter. It makes me stronger. And right now, guys, this is the big thing for me, right? I'm an ultra marathon runner now. I ran 50 miles, 80 kilometers in the Boyne Valley. Okay, you can see the video. I'll put a description down below, or you can click the card up above. So yeah, I mean, I went from running like 10 kilometers a couple of times a week a year ago to now running 50 miles, 80 kilometers, okay? So slow and steady, consistency, it's like David Goggins says, right? Putting cookies in the cookie jar, putting your health in the cookie jar, right? And I don't know, man, for me, I just got stronger and stronger, and I'm super excited that I did this, right? Rest and recovery I found was super important. However, I only needed 1 day a week because I was actually going really slow, right? Except when I came off of my 80 kilometer, right? My Boyne Valley 50 miler. I'm still on my recovery for that. It's only been a week and a half. So I'm taking 2 weeks off. I'm just walking. I did one run, but again, you just need to make sure that you do have the recovery in place. So as I promised, I'm going to go inside and I'm going to talk to you about all of the, basically a summary of all of my PBs, all of my results from the year. And yeah, let's go in and I'll talk to you about that. I had a goal race of running a 100-kilometer run, and that was going to be in August, but it was canceled due to COVID. So I created my own route, and I decided I was going to run on the trail instead of this flat, 100 kilometer trail run. I was going to run in the Boyne Valley and create my own, which last week you can see the video is right there, and that's what happened, right? I did run that. Guys, I was able to run that, and I was able to run it below my maximum heart rate. So I ran that whole thing with an average of 136. Now, again, it's an average. Not every kilometer was that way because some I was going up hills and down and everything else. However, overall, it was 136 beats a minute. Guys, I did 50 miles. It blows my mind. With all of that elevation, I think there was like 52, oh, I don't know, what was the elevation? 5277, I don't know. There was a lot of elevation in there, 5,270 feet of elevation gain, 1,759 meters. That's a lot. And I was able to do that after 1 year of training with the Maffetone Method, right? AKA heart rate training, AKA aerobic base training in your aerobic zone, not going out and crushing every single kilometer, running fast every day like I was way back when. Guys, I went long, right? I ran something like that just blew my mind. But the tempo runs did kind of get back in probably the end of April, maybe even the middle of May, I would say. Things really started, 1 day a week I would do a faster run. Now, I also decided that I was going to add in some trail runs. Okay, so I didn't know how that was all going to work, trying to keep my heart rate low, but I decided I'm open for the challenge, and I needed something different. Just the weather was getting nice. I wanted to get on the trails. I had gone through the whole fall and winter just in the slush, in the snow, getting lost in the woods, falling in the river, trying to find deer tracks to get me out. It was just crazy stuff that I did, right? I'm an ultra runner now, right? This is awesome. And so, for anyone who sees this video, look, you can do it too. And you can click on my other video when I started, you can click there. Now, here's the big finale, guys. You want to know, and this was about, I'm gonna say probably about 2 weeks ago when I went out and I did my MAF run. My pace, okay, at the same heart rate, 138, and a pace, okay, you ready for this, in my test, is now down to a 5:38, right? 5 minutes and 38 kilometer pace. Right? That's crazy, considering I was at a 5:34, sorry, I was at a 8:34 a year ago. So in 1 year, I basically shaved off 3 minutes. 3 minutes, okay? Don't tell me this stuff doesn't work. Yes, running consistently has made a difference. Whether, and I don't know, I mean, I could have run at a higher heart rate and maybe achieve the same thing. I have no idea. All I know is I could have got injured, right? So I decided I would go in the slow aerobic, build my base, right? Build my base, and reap the benefits of that, because now I'm just going to continue. I'm going into the winter time. I'm going to continue this, right? And I'm going to continue to see what the results are going to be, after, 1.5 years, after 2 years, and we'll see what happens, right? Now, the other thing is weight loss, right? A lot of people suffer from not being able to lose the weight, right? Cheeseburger away from a heart attack. That's just the way things were, but not anymore. now, now, right, I weigh 182. I'm feeling fantastic. I can run 50 miles and I'm helping other people in their life. I'm healthier in my mind. I just overall, I feel epic in so many ways, right? So it works, it works, it works. I've got a lot of other videos on my channel that can help you if you're looking at this for the first time. So 1 year of MAF training, I dropped 3 minutes per kilometer, right? 3 minutes per kilometer. There it is on your screen in miles per hour type of thing. So that's, you know, again, guys, this is something that works. It's something that you shouldn't take lightly. Really give it a try. And if you need help, I'm here. Just ask, right? So how many miles did I have to run to get to where I am now, right? I had to run on average about 9 miles a day, right? That's about 14 kilometers a day. I ran to about 2,800 miles, which is like 4,200 kilometers. I got an average, you know, sleep. It was about 8 hours of sleep I would get each night. Sleep is super important too, guys. Like, don't discount that. You need to get your sleep, because that will also affect your heart rate. You know, I was able to run 50 miles in one go. I also have run through basically one pair of shoes. I'm on my second pair. So the stats, you know, say it for themselves, right? So I got faster and faster and faster and faster. And here's the other thing that happened to me. I was able to run the fastest 10K. I did a 48:28 10K in July. What I could do now, I don't know. I haven't gone out. Maybe that'll be the next video, right? All I do know is I feel like I could really knock off maybe a 45, maybe even, you know, a 44-minute 10K, maybe. Anyways, we'll have to check that one out. Yeah, so all of my markers, all of my runs, like, I improved in so many ways. And so after, you know, 1 full year of MAF training, 2,800 miles, where am I? I'm 3 minutes faster per kilometer. Again, on your screen in miles. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with where things are at. I'm down a lot of weight, and I'm just gonna continue to run and see what happens. And I'm gonna just continue on, right? So when I look at my tempo runs, one of the things I noticed was I did a 10K, I think it was my second one, and it was 4:56, and my heart rate was 173. And then in October, I think that was back in April, and then, or was it, actually, it was, I'll tell you when it was. Yeah, that was in April. And then in October, I ran a 10K and my heart rate was 156 and it was 5 minutes, 3 seconds. So major difference with regards to my heart rate. Absolutely incredible when you start kind of looking at kind of where I was. Now, again, I haven't done a whole lot since the summertime with regards to running fast. In the last year, this is more of a summary of how I did for 365 days. All right, so let's take a look. So I lost 35 pounds. I am faster by 3 minutes per kilometer. I set a PB in 10 kilometers in 48:28, and that was in July. So clearly I could probably run it much faster still. I also did a 10 kilometer at a heart rate of 138 in 57:24, down from a time of 1 hour and 25 minutes when I first started. I ran 160 kilometers or 100 miles in 1 week. I've run a 590 kilometer month for June. I have also I also had 7,767 feet in elevation in 1 month. I had a total amount of mileage of 2,857 miles or 4,597 kilometers. I had an average of 9.22 miles or 14.85 kilometers per day. I achieved 48,673 meters in elevation gain or 159,668 feet, 544 hours of running or 22.67 days. I also ran the Boyne Valley 50 miler, which was an 80 kilometer run. All of this was achieved because I said yes to Maffetone training. And you can too. You are stronger than you give yourself credit for. And I know that you can achieve whatever you set your mind to. If you listen to your body, you train in your aerobic zone, you can meet your goals. I'm just telling you straight out, this is what happened to me. And these results can happen for you. If you put in the time and the energy, you can succeed. So that's my message to you. I wish you all the best. So in conclusion, does Maffetone Method work? And the answer is yes. Go ahead and do it for your future self. So let me ask you the question. If everything stayed the same as it is today, 5 years from now, would you be happy with where you are? You tell me. Are you gonna start? Or are you just gonna sit there? Or stop watching the video and get out and run.
Trying to find some balance in my life, but I never really put up a fight. Didn't follow my